It's bounce back week for Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Their unbeaten season snatched away by LSU last Saturday in the matchup of 1 versus 2 in Tuscaloosa. Trent Richardson was most of the Tide offense in that one and continues his Heisman candidacy tonight. Alabama's mammoth linebackers have led the charge for the Tide's top-ranked defense. Starkville can be a tough place to get healthy. The Bulldogs quarterback tandem of Ralph and Russell have led them to 3 wins in their last 4 outings, and tonight they search for an upset win. It's a big night for Dan Mullen against Nick Saban's number 3 Tide. And as you take a look at the BCS standings, it's loaded with SEC teams, including 2 of the top 3. Of course, LSU still on top. Alabama only slipped to 3rd after that loss to the Tigers. And Arkansas still has a lot to say about what's going to happen the rest of the season in the SEC and who will play in Atlanta for the title game. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nessler with my partner, Todd Blackledge. And Ledge, after that very physical pounding game they played against LSU last week, and an emotional one too. I think the whole country's trying to see what Alabama will do and if they can bounce back tonight.
Yeah, how will they respond? I think those BCS rankings that we just showed the audience should have given them a little extra motivation because they're still right where they need to be. I think their formula, there's no different tonight. You keep playing great defense. They're the best in the country in all 4 major categories, and you feed the ball early to the best player on the field, running back Trent Richardson. The more Mississippi State has to commit extra bodies to the line to stop him, that'll open up the play-action passing game for some big plays down the field.
It's been kind of an up-and-down season for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State as Alabama takes the field here on the road. Dan Mullen in his 3rd season as head coach. They've had some close losses that they feel they could have won. They have only 1 conference win in 5 outings, but this would be a gigantic feather in their caps or their helmets, as it were, if they could pull off a stunner here at home tonight. And here come the Bulldogs. They only lost by 2 points to South Carolina. They played 3 tough quarters against LSU and only trailed by a field goal going into the 4th quarter. So what do they have to do to pull off the stunner tonight?
Well, they got to do 2 things. Number 1, they've got to find a way to run the football. Easier said than done. Only 2 teams, Penn State and LSU, have gained over 100 yards. And they've got to win the turnover battle. Since Dan Mullen's been the head coach here, they're 15-0 in games when they win the turnover battle.
Well, we're about to find out. Great night for football. 60 degrees and a little breeze. And number 3 member of our team on the field is Holly Rowe. Holly.
Well, when you're talking about how will Alabama respond after that game last week, guys, people we talked to said it was very physical. One player said it was like 18-wheelers crashing into each other over and over again. As a result, there's some injuries to be concerned about. Marquise Mays, their fantastic kick returner and wide receiver, had a twisted foot. But guys, watching him in warm-ups, he looked sharp. He could cut and do everything he needed to do. Drake Kirkpatrick, the starting corner, got a concussion, but he practiced all week, and he was in with the ones on defense all through warm-ups. Brad Smelly, their tight end, looks fine after getting banged up. But the one area of concern, someone that Trent Richardson calls their team MVP, Barrett Jones, their starting left tackle, does not look like he can play. He's got a right ankle that is heavily bandaged. He came out, tried to give it a go, guys, but after he put some work in on it, I said, do you think you can play? And he said, no. So that is a huge loss. They will have their right guard backup, Alfred McCullough, switch over to that spot, start at left tackle tonight, guys. All right, Holly. Alabama won the toss, and they want the football, so they'll receive. And as Holly said, Marquise Mays looked ready to go. He's ready to go as one of the return men, along with Darius Hanks. Pasquale's kickoff is going to go in the corner of the end zone. And Alabama will start from the 20-yard line. Let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players for tonight. Trent Richardson, we talked about him, over 1,000 yards rushing and 17 touchdowns already on the season.
Dont'a Hightower, one of those two mammoth linebackers I talked about in the open. And he and Upshaw are a load on that side of the ball, as well as Mark Barron, two-time captain. Right now with a couple of interceptions. And he will hit you in that secondary. Quarterback, A.J. McCarron, the sophomore from Mobile, Alabama. Perfect in road starts. The only blemish, a loss at home last week. And he's going to throw on first down. And on the first snap, got it out to Hanks, but he got put down immediately by Broomfield after a pickup of only a couple.
Jim McElwain, the offensive coordinator for Alabama, and watching these guys on tape, they like to throw on first down. They like play action pass. It's good for pass protection. It also is a safer down for a young quarterback to throw. So look for them to throw on early downs off of play action, but Trent Richardson is still the key.
And Todd, right after that catch, Darius Hanks limped off the field. There goes another playmaker, maybe. Second down and 8. And here's Richardson, and he's stopped for a loss by the swarming Bulldog defense.
And that's the way you have to tackle this guy. He still didn't go on the ground. I mean, he is a very difficult guy to get down to the ground, but you've got to get a lot of bodies at him and stop him before he gets past the line of scrimmage.
Fletcher Cox was the first guy to meet him, and he's the mainstay on that defensive front. There he is, number 94, the 300-pounder who's had a sensational season. So immediately Alabama finds itself in 3rd and long. McCarron across the middle, threw it a little bit behind DeAndre White. Probably should have caught it, but he may not have gotten a first down anyway.
Good defensive possession to start this game for the Bulldogs. They showed pressure on that 3rd down, then backed out and only rushed 3 and forced the underneath throw.
So Alabama 3 and out. Cody Mandel will have to punt. And back deep, Jonathan Banks, one of 2 guys we may see in punt return formation tonight. He's a dangerous one. Also starting defensive back, but he has a punt return for a touchdown this year. Snaps a little bit high. And the punt is high and relatively short. Fair catch. And now it's going to take an Alabama bounce, and that's going to help them about 12 to 13 extra yards on the hop. 13-21, first quarter, no score. Mississippi State on offense as we take a look at their impact players presented by Chick-fil-A. Vic Ballard leads the way. 7 touchdowns, almost 6 yards a carry. They'll need a lot of him tonight. Fletcher Cox, just talked about him on the last series, had a big tackle. He leads them in sacks as well. And on the back end, Jonathan Banks, who just got out of the way of that punt. But as I mentioned, 5 interceptions. That's tied for 4th in the country. Here's Chris Ralph. He'll get the start. We'll see both quarterbacks for the Bulldogs tonight. Ballard bulldozes his way for maybe 3. And Josh Chapman on the defensive line made the stop.
Chris Ralph, the better runner of the 2 quarterbacks. Tyler Russell, the better thrower. That doesn't mean he can't run and Ralph can't throw, but that's just what their strength is. And the play calling package changes and shifts a little bit that way based on who's in the game.
Here's a pistol set for Ralph, who's going to get hit before he can get rid of it. And it was Courtney Upshaw, one of those linebackers we talked about, a loss of 7 on the sack.
Upshaw moves around a lot. He puts his hand on the ground quite a bit. They even used a back to try to chip on him, but it didn't slow him down. Addison Lawrence, the right tackle, couldn't handle him. And Courtney Upshaw quickly into the backfield.
6.5 sacks on the season now with that one. And he leads the club in that category. We're going to play it safe here and just worry about field position later.
Well, this is a field position game. Mississippi State is going into this with the idea of trying to make it a field position game. So you punt the football here and hope you can pin Alabama deep and play defense like you did on that first possession. This is a 60-minute game, and you've got to play smart and take care of the football. You hope it's a 60-minute game.
Exactly.
If you're Mississippi State.
They want to get to the 4th quarter first and then worry about the last 15. Swedenberg will punt, and that's Marquise Mays, who's got a touchdown on a punt return as well this year. And here the rugby-style punts. And another line drive, and Mays takes this one on the fly. Marquise Mays spins his way across the 40. And Alabama will have good field position after a 17-yard punt return by Marquise Mays. The SEC on ESPN. We're scoreless so far here in Starkville. Alabama, their field position improved by that last exchange of punts. And they work from the 42-yard line. They'll flip it out. White on the catch. And he picked up 8 yards as we head. Right now, Alabama trying to shake theirs. And Trent Richardson's got a first down on a 5-yard gain and into Mississippi State territory.
And this is the area where I would anticipate Alabama possibly going to a play action pass. They like deep crossing routes. Anything after faking the ball to Trent Richardson, because that draws a lot of attention. And then they go for big chunk yardage plays off of play action.
The initial first down of the game for Alabama at the Mississippi State 45. Richardson trying to cut it outside, now cuts back in and almost had the ball taken away, but he is a tough cat to rip that ball away from with that body and those arms of his. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, we saw Darius Hanks limp off the field a long time ago. They've been working on the outside of his left ankle. They've tried taping him up. They've had him up on the examination table, but still to no avail. This really hurts them because they're short on explosive players outside of Marquise Mays and Trent Richardson, guys. So they're down a receiver. He's got over 20 catches.
Yep. There he is on the sideline. We hope he can get back in there. Second down at 5. Eddie Lacy in the backfield for Alabama now. The play fakes to him. The throws to Mays, and he is head on by the other number 4 on the field, but he did get a first down.
And that was a good alert read by A.J. McCarron, because Mississippi State came with a corner blitz to that side. McCarron sees it. He gets rid of the ball quickly and gets the ball to Mays for the first down.
Boy, did a nice job of finding a lane to throw that through. There wasn't much space there.
Jonathan Banks, the guy coming on the blitz, is 6'2", so he's a tall guy coming in your throwing lane.
Alabama with a couple of first downs. They've moved it to the 34 of the Bulldogs. Lacy with a delayed draw play, and it was so delayed that he didn't get much out of that at all, maybe a couple of yards. Second down and 8. McCarron in the shotgun. Looking left all the way, overshot Mays too high on the slant, and it brings up third down and long.
I want to go back to something Holly reported on, the absence of Barrett Jones and why his absence is critical. Not only is he the starting left tackle, he was the starting right guard last year, and he can play all of the positions. So they really can ill afford another injury, because their depth is really, they've got some depth problems right now, and he was the most versatile of the guys that they had that they could plug into different spots.
There's McCullough, the guy that's taken his spot. Alabama in a little bit of a spot. Third down and 8. Crowd is really letting the Tide have it right now. McCarron, near side throw is broken up by Jonathan Banks.
Jonathan Banks is really an excellent football player. I mean, Chris Wilson, their defensive coordinator, thinks that he's an all-SEC caliber type player. And he showed it right there. Great break on the ball.
Holding. Offense number 76. That penalty is refused. Fourth down.
So fourth down.
Well, you wonder how much confidence Nick Saban has right now in going for a field goal.
Yeah.
That was a big part of the problem a week ago.
A missed 44-yarder last week against LSU. 50-yarder, no good. Switch kickers. Jeremy Shelley, 49, blocked. Cade Foster from long range didn't even have a chance in overtime.
Well, you said the 49-yarder was blocked a week ago. This is a 49-yard attempt.
Cade Foster to try to get maybe his confidence back and give his team the lead here in the first quarter. So much for the confidence coming back.
Good snap, good hold. Ball just didn't turn in for him.
Nope. Had enough distance. Plenty, in fact. And a couple yards wide. And the nightmares continue for the kickers for Alabama. And with that, Mississippi State takes over at the 32-yard line. Russell hit as he throws. Ball's a jump ball. And it's pulled down and dropped. Robert Lester had his hands on it. I don't know if one of his own guys hit him.
Well, that ball hung up there so long that there were about 4 Alabama guys that wanted to get their name in lights for an interception. Hightower's the guy that forced the bad play. He got in there so quickly, and the ball was up there. And watch all these white shirts say, I'm getting the INT. And they should have just let Robert Lester go for it. Can't hold the ball. I mean, both these quarterbacks holding it too long against this defense.
This time Russell rips it out near the 40-yard line, complete to Clark, leading receiver on the team. Picks up 7 and makes third down look a little bit easier. Todd said it earlier. You get 7 or 8 yards, you think you're doing pretty good. You just want to get a first down or 2 against Alabama.
Yeah.
See if they can pick up the third down and 3.
And one thing Mississippi State is doing is they're going no huddle, but they're not playing as fast and going hurry up like they do normally. They just go no huddle to keep the same defensive personnel on the field for Alabama and then adjust their plays once they see how they line up.
Ladarius Perkins flushes out of the backfield. Here comes a blitz. The throw is on target. Malcolm Johnson, first down, a pickup of 9.
Well, they told us yesterday in the meetings they thought Malcolm Johnson and Marcus Green were 2 guys they could get some matchup advantages with because of their size, and they got Johnson on that big third down play. Here it is again. No huddle, but not hurry up. Alabama likes to switch defensive personnel based on who you have in. Without the huddle, it keeps the same guys on the field.
There's Johnson, who sets up on the wing, and now they give it off, and Perkins loses a yard or 2 that they just picked up. That was their initial first down, by the way.
I really thought it was interesting what Dan Mullen said about this Alabama defense when he said that they are so big and strong and physical in their front 7 that they can stop your inside running just physically. They don't have to scheme to stop your run. Then they scheme in the back end in their pass coverages.
And Perkins going to struggle for a couple of yards, maybe 3. You saw that placard on the sideline holding up the play call, and it's amazing that Erin Andrews was going to make not only our game but her own game tonight on the West Coast. Erin's not in that particular board, but she was on the one you saw a couple of minutes ago. Another third down, 3rd and 8. Ballard back in there for the Bulldogs behind Tyler Russell. And now he will leave the backfield, leaving Russell all by his lonesome on 3rd down and long. Pressured, and down he goes.
Can't block them.
Dont'a Hightower again.
Yeah. I mean, Upshaw and Hightower, when they line up and play like a defensive end, they're so quick off the ball. You know, they're big enough to take on a lineman, and they're too quick for him coming off the edge.
I told you a couple hours ago, 30 years ago, those 2 guys would have been offensive linemen.
That's right.
265 pounds for one and 260 for the other. So Swedenberg will have to punt. 1 first down, and that's it. Bulldogs will kick it away again.
Now, if you're going to do a rugby, you better make sure the ball hits the ground and bounces. Don't let Marquise Mays catch it on the fly like they did the last time.
So you look at Swedenberg from behind, and he dropped the ball. Down he goes. Alabama's got it right there. Almost the same as a turnover, and you said you got to win the turnover battle if you're going to win the game.
You got to win the turnover battle, and Alabama is going to make you earn everything. And they also, as soon as you make a mistake, they capitalize. There's the first big mistake of the game. Now let's see what Alabama does to take advantage of it.
So mark that one down with just over a minute to go in the quarter. And there's what Todd was talking about a little while ago. 15-0 when you win the turnover battle. And though that's going to be considered taking over on downs, it's the same thing as an interception or a fumble or anything else. 1st and 10. Alabama at the 31. Play action. Will they try to take advantage right here? McCarron throws high, but no, he got it over to Kenny Bell.
That's the kind of stuff they like on the early downs. Play action, good protection, and deep crossing routes. They're plays that take time to develop, but the play action holds linebackers and underneath coverage and allows you to throw to the second level.
And that level got him down to the 15-yard line. So in the red zone for Alabama. Bulldogs thinking about a blitz. Richardson hit in the backfield twice, still going. No, and he made a yard out of nothing. And that might be the last play of the quarter. Alabama on the march at the Bulldog 14-yard line in what appears to be a scoreless first quarter, unless they do take a snap here in the next 2 seconds. I don't think that's going to happen, and it won't. End of the quarter. Tough football game. Both defenses playing very, very well. One mistake, though, that botched punt attempt by Mississippi State has given Alabama a chance. End to one, no score in Starkville. Set to start the second quarter. The SEC on ESPN. Scoreless first quarter between Alabama and Mississippi State. But Alabama on the move. They've got it at the 14-yard line in the red zone. Brought to you by Verizon. Mississippi State, one of the top teams. Alabama, one of the top teams as well, as far as opponents' touchdown percentage is concerned.
I think you look to throw the football here to Trent Richardson. 5 catches a week ago, 23 on the season. Maybe a screen, something short and quick to him.
And the run is going to go that way, and it's not going to go anywhere. Lacy, no gain. Bonner and Lawrence combine on the tackle.
Mississippi State on that play guest run. They went to straight man coverage on Marquise Mays with their best corner, Jonathan Banks, and had extra men around the line of scrimmage. You put more guys in there than they can block, and then you just got to make the tackle.
If the Bulldogs stop them here, we're going to find out the answer to your question.
Yeah.
Would they try another field goal or try for a touchdown? They're 0 for 4 in their third down conversions so far.
And we might even find it out on this down, because they may just go for part of this yardage with the idea of going for it in 2 downs.
Blitz on 3rd and 9. The fade to the corner. We're going to have pass interference, though, on Jonathan Banks, who just shoved Andrew White out of bounds.
And I don't think he needed to, because I think that ball was going to be out of bounds anyway.
And there's the shove, and it's just blatant. And so that's going to be an automatic first down for Alabama.
Well, another mistake.
Yep.
For Mississippi State. Again, you can't make those kind of mistakes.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. The penalty carries an automatic first down.
You know, and he was even with DeAndrew White. It wasn't like he was beat.
Right.
I mean, he would have had a play on the football. He had inside position, and he was right on his hip, but he just shoved him out of bounds.
Playing right into Alabama's offensive hands here at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter, because now you figure you're going to get a serious dose of the Alabama tailback however many times it takes. And it's going to be Lacy in there and not Trent Richardson. First and goal at the 2. Lacy on the pitch to the corner. Touchdown, Alabama. Eddie Lacy went airborne for 2 yards and the first score of the ball game.
Boy, great blocks by the 2 tight ends. Michael Williams, number 89. Chris Underwood, number 87. Just cleared the way on that perimeter and the edge for Lacy to get into the end zone. Alabama uses a lot of 2 and 3 tight end formations, and those guys did a great job that time.
Alabama's first touchdown in their last 18 possessions, going back to the fourth quarter against Tennessee.
Wow.
Forced nothing but field goals last week in Tuscaloosa with #1 LSU. And now Jeremy Shelley in for the point after. Even an extra point might help the Alabama kickers get rid of the yips. And he's got the extra point through. Just under 10 minutes remaining first half. Alabama on the board. Crimson Tide leading 7-0. So Alabama leading 7-0. Cade Foster to kick. This will be returnable from the 3-yard line by Perkins. Perkins fights his way out to the 24. Tyler Russell back in at quarterback. Perkins in the backfield with Russell. There hasn't been much of a ground game tonight for Mississippi State. They're going to go airborne here again. This one's complete out in the flat. Chris Smith brought down immediately by Menzie, but he got 5 yards, and the bells were ringing.
Good completion, but Tyler Russell wants to throw that to the opposite armpit away from the defense. I mean, he got the completion, but that ball was thrown a little bit inside towards the defense. Your aiming point is the outside arm away from the defense.
Under 6 minutes in the half. Mississippi State trying to get something going offensively here. Here's Perkins. Following his blockers are trying to, but it's tough sledding against Alabama. And Mark Barron and C.J. Mosley combine on the hit. Dan Mullen, his 3rd year as the head coach here.
But a manageable 3rd down situation. You got run or pass option here on 3rd and short.
It'll be a pass unless the quarterback has to run. Let's go at the last minute. He got it complete to Chris Smith. First down.
Well, Dre Kirkpatrick went for an interception. And he's probably the best cover corner on this Alabama team. And he's going to go for an interception. Watch number 21 anticipate the throw and try to cut in front for an interception, but misses. And that enables Chris Smith to make the catch and tack on some extra yardage.
This will be only the 2nd play in Alabama territory for Mississippi State. Just inside the 41, a first down. Play action. Russell all day to throw. Comes over the middle, complete again. Tackled by Mosley on Vic Ballard, who came out of the backfield to make the catch.
Well, they got some momentum. I mean, they got a little rhythm going in their offense right now. Tyler Russell in there. Dylan Favre gave him a little spark for a couple plays.
Seventh play of the Mississippi State drive. And it's going to be Hemphill. And he's got a first down. Excuse me, it's Ballard. Hemphill was in there, but Ballard got the call. And they keep moving the chains, and they keep going without a huddle. Picking up the tempo. As Todd said, they got something rolling here. Alabama still got their substitutions in on defense.
Well, I think they figured out that it's not a hurry up. It's just a no huddle.
And a first down at the 29 of Alabama. Russell again. Near side this time. Another nice catch by Chris Smith.
Now right now what Tyler Russell has to be thinking is no negative plays. We're in scoring territory. We're in field goal range. And Chris Relf is going to come into the game. We haven't seen a design quarterback run with Chris Relf yet. But no negative plays.
2nd and 6 at the 25. There's the quarterback run, but it didn't run very far. Might have gotten a half yard out of it.
Fans a little upset with the quarterback switch there. They thought Tyler Russell was moving the team, which he was. They had some momentum.
Russell had hit his last 5 passes, too. Chad Bumpus in the backfield, and now he'll move out of it into the slots. 3rd down and 5. Ralph finally lets go of it. Hit the umpire's foot, I think was about it. Damian Square was squarely in his face when he tried to throw the football.
And I think Ralph is hurt at the end of that throw.
Well, field goal range, we'll find out in a second. From Derek DePasquale. His long of the season is 42 yards. This one's going to be just inside that. DePasquale from 41 to try to put the Bulldogs on the board. A kick on the way. No. Wide left. Kind of a line drive. And both teams' kickers having all kinds of troubles tonight. Just under 3 minutes to play. First half, Alabama by 7. Right now, Alabama's just trying to survive Starkville. They lead by 7. McCarron's going to flare it out there to White. White with a blocker, spins his way for decent yardage out near the 30-yard line. And let's check in with Reese. We got an interception here by Lawrence. Cameron Lawrence is picked off A.J. McCarron, and Mississippi State, a 31-yard interception return, is knocking on the Alabama door.
Well, Cameron Lawrence did a great job of reading the eyes of the quarterback. He's the team's leading tackler coming into the game. Watch him right here, number 10. The pass is intended for the tight end, Chris Underwood. Watch him read the eyes and cut right underneath it, and then get it towards the end zone.
And McCarron saved the touchdown, but number 10 threw one to number 10. And now Mississippi State's got a golden opportunity because of an Alabama mistake.
And they must capitalize here. They must capitalize with a touchdown because they may not get this close to the Alabama end zone again.
First and goal. Play action. Throw to the corner. Broken up. Chad Bumpus had his hands on it, but couldn't hold it.
Well, was that Menzie again? He has had a great first half.
Yeah, he has.
He has been very, very active. You know, Nick Saban also, his position expertise is secondary. And so he teaches technique with the defensive backs from an NFL perspective, and they fight to the end of the play.
Alabama changing up their personnel on defense on a second down and goal. Ballard's going to get hit in the backfield. He's going to lose about 3. Courtney Upshaw led the charge, and Hightower was there as well.
They're not going to give it to you easy, that's for sure. They're going to make you earn everything you get.
Now you almost have to throw. You had it at the 4, but now it's back at the 7. 4 wideouts as Perkins, the tailback, comes down to the bottom of your screen as an extra one. Tyler Russell on 3rd and goal. Throws incomplete. Arcito Clark, I think, was the intended receiver. And now they're going to try to come away with whatever they can. Well, a blown opportunity to get 7 and tie it up.
A blown opportunity, but how about this Alabama defense? I mean, let's not take anything away from them. Their quarterback throws an interception. It goes inside their 5-yard line. They come on the field for 3 plays, and they make Mississippi State go backwards.
So they come in to try a field goal via 29-yard attempts. DePasquale is the kicker, but Dylan Favre is the holder. Gets it down, and another missed field goal. Wow. It just can't get any worse for kickers than the night we're seeing here. No expression on the face of Dan Mullen, but he knows full well what Todd was talking about. How many times do you get to the Alabama 4 to start with? Your defense gives you a golden opportunity. 1 miss to the left, 1 miss to the right. And DePasquale can't get this one through. Just a knuckleball that never had a chance. Well, the cowbells are ringing because Mississippi State is close to one of the best teams in the country again, much like they were against LSU earlier this season. Still trailing, and they missed a golden opportunity to at least get 3 points, if not have this game tied. They had it 1st and goal at the 4 and couldn't come away with anything. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Coach Saban, your defense is really playing great, but your offense is struggling to find some momentum. What has to change there?
Well, we can't run the ball. So, you know, we're going to have to find a way to run the ball and get a hat on the hat, be a little more consistent. We got too many negative plays. We had some opportunities to hit some things and we didn't, but we're going to have to throw and catch the ball better.
With your field goal kickers both missing, how does that affect your decision in the second half, whether you go for it?
I got plenty of confidence in our field goal kickers. They'll do fine. That's why we're going to keep putting them out there and they're going to make them.
Okay, Coach.
Thanks.
Thinking positively. Nick Saban. Halftime, his team in front on the road 7-0 as we send it to Reese, Mark, and Lou in our studio for the Wendy's halftime report. Guys, in the first 2 quarters, as you take a look at the statistics, 7 rushing yards for Mississippi State. A couple of missed field goals on each side. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe back here in Starkville. And, partner, I tell you, when you're averaging a little over 2 yards a play, you don't want to get down to the 4-yard line and blow an opportunity. Mississippi State did that.
Yeah, they did. I mean, you know, the good news was, or the only good news is, it was right before the half, so they could go in the locker room and make some adjustments. They didn't have to keep playing with that lack of momentum after the missed opportunity. But you just don't get that many golden opportunities against a team as good as Alabama. Let's see what they can do their first offensive possession. They've got to run it better than they did that first half.
Foster's kick, short one, taken at the 15 by Perkins. And Perkins trying to weave his way out, and Foster in on the stop, the kicker, along with a couple other Alabama players. A lot of miscues. First, there was a fumble on a punt. And then the late hit on Marquise Mays out of bounds gave Alabama better field position. They scored on the drive that followed that, including the interference. But misses to the left and to the right by 2 different kickers, both number 40, I might add.
Yeah.
And that's what's left Mississippi State with a 0 on the scoreboard right now as we start the 3rd quarter. And Tyler Russell at quarterback. Coming up to throw, maybe not. He's hit as he lets go of it, incomplete. And we check in with Holly Rowe. Holly.
Well, I was able to catch up with Mississippi State coach Dan Mullen at the half, and I asked him about those 2 kickers wearing number 40. He said, well, first of all, it's hard to get numbers, you know. They're never on the field at the same time, so we share numbers that way, but it is partly to be a little bit sneaky. I asked if he'll continue to kick field goals in the second half, given their misses. He said, we've got to. Even with all those mistakes, we're right where we want to be, down just 7 to Alabama.
Well, they must be out of numbers for the snappers, too. They've got 3 84s that are long snappers. That ball's incomplete. Clark had his hands on it, got separated from the football. And it brings up 3rd and 10 to open up the 3rd quarter.
You know, and that little thing that we showed right before we came back on with Bobby Petrino, the head coach of Arkansas, saying you got to earn every yard. This is a catch that has to be made. In a big-time game on prime time like this, a pretty well-thrown ball, and Arcito Clark, if he catches it, it's a first down. Instead, it's 3rd and 10 against the number 1 defense in the country.
D. Miller is the guy that separated him from the ball. And now it is 3rd and 10. Ballard will flush out of that backfield. Russell down the middle. This one is held down to by Green. The tight end, Marcus Green, his first catch of the night, and it's good for a first down.
And if that's a wide receiver, Brad, this is a tackle short of the first down. But because Marcus Green weighs 240 pounds, after he catches the football, the hit doesn't knock him down. Watch Green catch it, bounce off the hit by Mark Barron, and then get the first down on second effort.
There aren't many guys that bounce off a hit from Mark Barron, and he picked up the first down at the 44. Now it's Perkins, and Perkins got maybe 3 out of that. Quentin Dial made first contact for Alabama's defense. Again, Mississippi State with an interception that was returned by Cameron Lawrence down to the 4-yard line, and they got no points out of that late in the 2nd quarter. Alabama with the touchdown lead, 2nd and 8. Ballard's back in there behind Russell in the pistol set. And it's going to be Russell carrying, and he got 3 out near the 49-yard line. Damian Square made the stop.
What I've seen so far, and I know that Chris Relf graded out higher than Tyler Russell last week in their win over Tennessee Martin. I think the team is moving a little bit more effectively with Tyler Russell and his ability to throw the football. Only 7 yards rushing in that first half. I'd be surprised to see Relf play as much in the second half as he did in the first half if things keep going this way.
5 receivers, extra man on the rush, and the pass is incomplete. Menzie, Bumpus is looking for a flag, and he's not going to see one.
Russell did a pretty good job hanging in there under pressure. The ball's a little bit low. I think Menzie did get away with one here. The right arm is around the back, and normally that's a call. I mean, Menzie's had a good first half, but I think he got away with one on that play.
Let's see if the snap to Swedenberg is clean. He's dropped one, and he had one where his knee was very close to being down when he did field it. This one's perfect. And the kick. Mays backpedaled and then let it go, and it gets to the end zone where Alabama will bring it out to the 20-yard line on offense. McCarron motioning Kevin Norwood to come in tighter, and fakes it to Trent Richardson and goes complete on the fly to Norwood. Norwood across midfield. One of the bigger pass plays of the night for Alabama. Got it 38.
See, that's what they like. They like the deep crossing routes because the play action fake will pull the linebackers in and then you throw behind them. So that passing lane is over the linebackers but in front of the safeties, and that play action fake allows you to find that window to throw.
Kevin Norwood playing because, remember, Darius Hanks was injured in the first quarter, and Norwood for them, that's a career long catch. 38 yards down to the 42. McCarron this time throws it to White. And a quick slant. Corey Broomfield made the tackle.
It's interesting because Nick Saban told Holly, we've got to find a way to run the football. You know, we're not running it, so they're coming out throwing, I think, with the idea of opening up the run because they want to lean on Trent Richardson in the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter, to wear down this Mississippi State defense.
Second down and 2. Trent Richardson in the Alabama backfield. Gets the carry and gets the first down and gets some more. Trent Richardson, you know, you compare him to Mark Ingram, who won the Heisman Trophy for Alabama, and their numbers are strikingly similar, and actually the touchdowns way in favor of Trent at this point of this season compared to Mark Ingram's Heisman Trophy campaign.
Yeah, that was coming into the night. You're right, almost identical, but that touchdowns. Trent Richardson knows how to find the end zone.
Mark now a New Orleans Saint, of course. And this guy is a load and has been, but tonight Mississippi State's made him pay for just about every carry. McCarron pressure coming. It's a screen pass to Richardson, and Richardson on the run here. Whoa, what a move by Richardson. Ooh. He's so strong, and yet he's got moves like that. 19 yards on the reception.
Now, he's such a dangerous guy in the open field because, as you mentioned, he's got the strength and power to break arm tackles, and you would not expect him to have the quickness and the shiftiness to do that.
Oh, poor Wade Bonner. Don't worry, Wade. That's happened to a lot of people. First down now, just outside the 12-yard line. Alabama threatening to add to its lead. And they want touchdowns because of their field goal woes. They don't want to have to kick it either if they don't have to. Here's Richardson again. Cuts to the outside again. A nice move. And he gets down inside the 6.
I think Trent Richardson saves his best moves for when he's in the state of Mississippi.
Maybe that's it.
Earlier in the year, watch the move in the beginning of this run and then at the end of the run when he played up the road in Oxford.
Here it comes. Watch this one. Whoop. Oh, yeah. Wow.
That one was on turf. This one was on natural grass. It doesn't matter.
Second down and 2. Alabama at the Mississippi State 5, and it's Trent Richardson again, and no moves this time as he stopped at the line of scrimmage. Wonder how many runs he's had in his career when he's still standing and they just blew the whistle. He's had about 3 tonight where they really haven't gotten him down.
I think he takes particular pride in that, of not getting taken to the ground. He is a physical runner. I like what Chris Wilson described him. He said he is a very violent football player, and he is.
Alabama hasn't converted a third down tonight. They've got third down and 3 here. The pitch to Richardson. They're not going to get a third down conversion on this one either. And now, though, it's basically the length of an extra point.
Well, Nick Saban told Holly he's got all kind of confidence in his field goal kickers. And he's going to try it again.
Kicker troubles, you say? Yeah. 6 of the last 8 they missed.
I made the point how he yelled at his punter for a punt that didn't down inside the 10, and he didn't yell at the kickers because he knows he's got to keep these guys confident. And the psyche of kickers can be very, very fragile.
Shelley from 24. That one's perfect.
He knew it. Nick knew it.
Nothing to this silly game.
Yeah.
7:32, third quarter. Alabama has added to its lead. 10-0 tied. Again, a very short kick at the 21 is Lewis. The good thing is, nice hang time. They only got it out to about the 32-yard line. Mississippi State on offense from the 33-yard line. Still a scoreless offense for the Bulldogs tonight. Almost a face mask there.
Yep,
and
got it.
It is a face mask. Perkins picked up 3. Robert Lester is the guy that had his hand up in the cage of the running back.
I think if you're Mississippi State, you will take any free yardage Alabama's willing to give you.
That's for sure.
I mean, they've had a play for 16 yards. That's the longest.
Foul. Face mask. Defense. That penalty is 15 yards added to the end of the run. Carries an automatic first down.
When you consider how many yards they picked up tonight, as Todd said, and we'll show you graphically. That has been a touchdown allowed by this defense in the last 41 possessions. But the first down by penalty gives them the ball at the 49-yard line. They'll try to run it from the tailback spot, and that got all of 2 feet for Vic Ballard. Courtney Upshaw, number 41, in on the top, on the stop again. Those 2 linebackers, Hightower and Upshaw, they don't give up anything on the ground.
Is this Favre back in the game now? Yep.
Dylan Favre at quarterback. Fires it out, complete to Evans, and Evans bumped out of bounds after a pickup of 4. Favre was the player of the year in this state a couple of seasons ago. Brett's nephew.
Coaches tell us he's got some of that same moxie, that Brett played with and carries himself with.
He's going to keep it on the ground here on the loss of a yard, as Mosley's done a nice job at linebacker tonight as well. And it brings up third down and 5. Redshirt freshman.
I think it's 4th.
Oh, it's 4th down.
Yeah.
4th down.
I don't know if I agree with this. Your defense, you have leaned really hard on them the whole game.
Favre to throw on 4th and 7, and he fires it in there, but it's dropped. Should have been caught, I think, Marcus Green. And Favre is saying, oh man, I put it right where I wanted to.
Well, we saw a pass that Tyler Russell threw to Arcito Clark that should have been caught. Would have been a first down. This is a good throw by Favre. Definitely should have been caught.
Right between the 3 and the 2.
The only problem with that now is you give Alabama the football on their 47-yard line, and field position is in their favor again. They lead 10-0. They're going to go for more here.
So McCarron, who stopped on 4th down, and the quarterback sneaks, got it back in his hands, or will have right here on 1st and 10. A slip screen to Marquise Mays. He's going to cut it back the other way, though. Mays, first down, and a pickup of 13. Marquise Mays over there might have got shaken up a little bit after picking up that first down at the 40-yard line. And Trent Richardson on the carry. Man, they are swarming around number 3.
Well, coming into the game, I think the Mississippi State defensive coaches and staff, they knew the 2 guys we have to shut down and contain, the 2 big playmakers, are Trent Richardson and Marquise Mays. Mays coming into the game, a little bit of an ankle issue, but they've done a good job. They have really targeted those two guys and pretty much held them in check. Big reason why they've only given up 10 points.
Trent Richardson's had to earn it tonight. 54 yards on 18 carries. They fake it to him here. McCarron, now he's going to just flip it to him. Trent Richardson, another nice move in the open field, and he's going to be a little bit short of the first down as we check. So Oregon giving Stanford fits. Last play of the third quarter is right here, and it's a first down carry for Trent Richardson. Alabama's first third down conversion of the night. That's how good the Bulldogs defense has been. But they need some offense in the fourth quarter, or it's going to be a home loss. End of 3. Number 3, Alabama leading 10-0. Into 3 quarters, 10-0 Alabama as we head to the fourth.
Alabama's dominated the fourth quarter this year, 69-11. They've outscored their opponents.
Penn State's the only team to have scored in the fourth quarter against Alabama on the year.
Wow. That was early.
That was way early. Here's a guy that can ice the game for you in one play, and he might be doing it right here. Richardson, touchdown. And Lacy stepped out of bounds. The 29-yard touchdown. I think they're going to bring it back to the 4.
One of the reasons why Alabama has been so dominant in the fourth quarter, as you look at the replay, there's where he foot on the line, is because of Trent Richardson. I mean, he is a guy who gets stronger as the game goes on, and when he can sense fatigue in a defense, I mean, he just turns it on a little bit harder. Plus, he gets spelled every now and then by Ed Lacy, who's not bad himself.
He may not have gotten a touchdown on that run, but he might get another chance right here. Richardson bulldozing his way down to the 1. And again, I think he's still standing in that pile. Or at least leaning on somebody else. Second down and goal.
I think we should make a comment also that Alfred McCullough, who is starting at left tackle for the injured Barrett Jones, we talked about at the beginning, has done a pretty good job holding his own in there. You know, that offensive line as a unit of 5 guys have to play with cohesiveness, and he had to step into the gap tonight for Barrett Jones, and he's done a nice job.
Second down and goal just inside the 2. Trent Richardson's got it this time. Touchdown, Alabama.
And they ran right behind McCullough that time.
18th touchdown of the year for Trent Richardson from 2 yards out.
2 tight ends to that side. Watch out for McCullough, number 52, push his man right to the goal line, and Trent Richardson runs right off of his back hip for the touchdown.
So, extra point by Jeremy Shelley upcoming. And it ends a 53-yard drive with a touchdown. 17-0. Alabama now here in the fourth quarter as we look at Todd's Taste of the Town for this week.
In 1985, Barry Wood and his wife, Margaret Ann, began serving homemade barbecue and sauce at a local service station with 3 tables. 2 years later, they moved into their present location, a residential house that's been added on to and expanded throughout the years. The place is a local landmark in Starkville and is known throughout the Southeast for great barbecue, and it's called the Little Dewey. My meal starts with a trio of family recipe side dishes: baked beans, coleslaw, and southern corn salad, all prepared in the kitchen by Nettie, who's been with Barry since day one. As far as my entree, pork that's been slow cooked in the smoker for 10 to 12 hours and is pulled by hand daily. Add to it some Mississippi fried catfish, and what you have is surf and turf, Starkville style.
Surf and turf.
Yeah.
Only you could come up with that one. Good stuff.
Oh, it's really good stuff. And Barry is such an awesome guy. I mean, just a great guy, loves ESPN, loves to feed us when we come over there.
Right.
And Nettie's been with him since day one, but he's got 8 people that work there that have been with him for 20 years. And so it's just a really great family restaurant.
Not only Barry had that great food there, his wife had some gift baskets for us with other goodies for our hotel room. Thanks, Barry. Now the return is Perkins. Broke a tackle. Perkins down the sideline. Does he have a chance? Perkins all the way down near the 20. Finally, Mississippi State got a big play. Ladarius Perkins with a big kick return.
Well, you're looking for a spark anywhere you can get it. Cade Foster tries to make the tackle, and Perkins runs out of that tackle. And a rare mistake by Alabama, not by their defense, but by their special teams. Not very disciplined in that coverage. And Mississippi State with great field position.
Ladarius Perkins, a 69-yard kickoff return, has given the Bulldogs some life at the 21 of Alabama. And now it's Russell. And yes, he can run when he needs to.
Boy, good read. Nice read. This is a zone read play with an option pitch also. And Courtney Upshaw, who's one of the best players in college football, was totally fooled. Watch Upshaw follow the fake, and that enabled Tyler Russell to get out onto the perimeter.
First and goal. They've been here before at the 4-yard line and came away empty. Ballard. Oh, man, what a hit by Barron in the open field. Guy can really tackle, can he?
Yeah, he really can, and it's fundamental. I mean, he does not slow down when he gets to the ball carrier, and he explodes through the ball carrier, and he wraps those arms.
Second down and goal. Mississippi State needs points here. Russell fires, and they're in the end zone. Chris Smith, touchdown. So the Bulldogs, courtesy of that great kick return, are back at least in the hunt.
Well, that was excellent pass protection first. And then Tyler Russell stood in there and delivered a beautiful throw.
Extra point coming up, and it's good. Alabama's defense allows its first touchdowns the last 44 possessions by an opponent.
Watch the protection. Extra guys in there, and then Russell sticks it right in between a couple Alabama defenders. And finally, the Mississippi State Bulldogs go the right direction, and they get points to show for it.
Tyler Russell, his 8th touchdown pass of the season, capped that short drive. Remember, it was a 69-yard kickoff return by Ladarius Perkins that helped get him down there close. Chris Smith with a touchdown catch, and the bells are tolling again because Mississippi State's back in the game.
Well, and your defense now gets a little bit of juice back because their offense came through for them. And they're right back in the football game.
Egan to kick off. This one line drives to the 9-yard line of Marquise Mays. And Mays dragged down as he got across the 30-yard line. Richardson in the Wildcat is going to take it straight ahead. And again, it takes a whole kennel of Bulldogs to bring him down.
You know, the other team that you saw on there, not as one of those 4 teams, but Oklahoma State, their last game of the year will be against Oklahoma, the Bedlam game, and they just crushed Texas Tech today. And we were out in Norman when Oklahoma played Texas Tech, and
how did
still
they do
scratching
that?
my head about that one.
How did they do that?
Yeah, still scratching my head on
Bob
that.
Stoops is scratching his too, like you said earlier. Second down and 9 under 6 minutes. You see A.J. McCarron, the quarterback, out to the top of your screen as a wide receiver, with Trent Richardson about ready to take the snap again. And the Wildcat fakes it to Marquise Mays, runs it himself to the corner, and he's got a first down taken out of bounds, but looking for a face mask penalty as well on Wade Bonner. Doesn't get one. He got 16 more yards, and all of a sudden, with the last couple of runs for Trent, he's over 100.
Yeah, and a great block by Brad Smelly, the tight end. He and Anthony Steen, number 61, leading that play. They could have called either one of them on face masks. They both had to hold each other's face mask there. So offsetting penalties and nothing harm.
67 yards this half for Trent, and over 100 again. So even though the Bulldogs have made it hard on him running the football, he's past that century mark again tonight, and he's got 5 or 6 more right there. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, we see Trent Richardson getting stronger, running harder as the game goes on. He is one of the most well-conditioned athletes in all of college football. We know he's a monster in the weight room, one of the strongest on the team, but he's in such good condition after that physical battle last week against LSU. He had 192 all-purpose yards. I had one source tell me he didn't even have to go to the training room Sunday. He felt so good. Tuesday at practice, they said he was one of the guys with the most energy. He took all the reps. Just think about that. After that game last week, he was feeling chipper.
He's something else, and the guy that's behind him is not too shabby either. Much like when Mark Ingram was number 1 and Trent was number 2. Here he comes again, and fighting for a first down, and he might have it again. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the old Animal House deal, you know. When somebody hits him, it's like, thank you, sir, might have another. I mean, he likes the contact.
Oh man, watch this. He's had about 6 of these tonight where it's just leg drive, leg drive, leg drive, and there's 6 Bulldogs, and he comes out the backside of it. The first 3 quarters he had 56 yards, and as Holly said, he gets stronger late. 60 yards in the 4th quarter.
Alabama working clock now as well, letting that play clock get down inside of 5 every time before they snap the football.
Down to 1 that time. Richardson again. Jamie Jones holding on for dear life just to bring him down with 3 minutes and 39 seconds remaining.
It's interesting. Chris Wilson, the defensive coordinator for Mississippi State, spent a lot of years at Oklahoma, and he even told us that Richardson was reminded him a lot of Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
And he was a Sooner running back.
Tell you what, that's saying something and giving some pretty high praise to this guy. And again, he blasts his way around 3 would-be tacklers. His 6th straight run.
Well, I totally get this, putting him in the shotgun. That snap was a little bit slow from Blejos, and it almost ended up hitting Marquise Mays on the motion across.
Marquise did a good job just kind of jumping out of the way of that thing. And that saved what would have been a fumble. And now we're down to 2.5 minutes. As Todd said, Alabama using every second they can. They've run 4 minutes off the clock already.
See, this is what they say about style points. You know what? We're gonna get out of here with a hard-fought victory. We're gonna keep the ball in the hands of our best player. And
I had never seen this many runs in a football game where it took that many people to bring one guy down.
Who do you think's going to get it?
Gee, I'm going to say maybe Trent Richardson. Ooh, he had to pay for it, I'll tell you that much. Cameron Lawrence in a head-on collision, but he's got the first down.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Here he comes with one of his hardest yards of the night. Met in the hole by the linebacker Lawrence, along with Charles Mitchell, the safety. And his first down, 8 straight rushes by Trent Richardson.
You know what? I remember a game a couple years ago, the year that Mark Ingram won the Heisman Trophy. A game in Columbia, South Carolina, same thing.
Yeah.
They put him in the shotgun, they snapped him the ball, and he just took control of the game in the 4th quarter.
Another tough yard before he's knocked back. In fact, he might not have gotten a yard. Mississippi State 2 timeouts left. Only 1:32 remaining.
Timeout. Mississippi State.
And there goes their second one.
Second time out of the half.
And at the beginning of the game, I said, don't change the formula for Alabama. Play great defense and a steady diet of feeding it to the best player on the field, Trent Richardson. I mean, and that's what they did. And in the fourth quarter, it's his time to just salt the game away.
They give him a breather and let Eddie Lacy have at it, and he gets 3 yards. Mississippi State can only stop it one more time. And they are going to use that last timeout right here.
Winning and winning big games is a critical factor. And if Stanford is not able to win that game tonight, I think it really hurts Andrew Luck's chances of winning the Heisman Trophy.
I think Whedon will move up and Moore will move back, too, as you look at that top 5 grouping. Here's Eddie Lacy. He's got a crease. Lacy down the sideline. Ball game is now over. Eddie Lacy, touchdown, 32-yard sprint. Trent Richardson, and then give it to the other guy who's almost as good. And he goes for the score.
Yeah. He has cleaner pants, which means he's got fresher legs. And at this point in the game, way fresher than the Mississippi State defense.
Got some good blocking, and once he got that seam and got to the corner, he's got the kind of speed that not a lot of guys are going to track him down either, despite the fact that he's a good-sized running back. Extra point is good. On an 11-play drive, all runs, 73 yards in a little over 5 minutes, and the capper was Eddie Lacy.
Alabama plays 3 tight ends. They all are good blockers. On this one, it's going to be 89. Watch him right here get the key block. Michael Williams kicks his man out. Lacy cuts right in behind him and then just outruns the Bulldog defense. But these tight ends for Alabama are excellent blockers.
Perkins, who had a 69-yard kickoff return earlier, gets to the 30 this time.
You know, that streak for Alabama actually goes back to the Capital One Bowl game when they beat Michigan State back in January.
And Russell goes down, courtesy of Nick Gentry. Some of the backup Alabama guys getting a shot here. As we're under a minute, and Alabama will be going to 9-1, 6-1 in conference play. They've got the Eagles of Georgia Southern, and then the Iron Bowl at Auburn on Thanksgiving weekend. Russell going to throw it short. Ballard brought down by Hightower, and we're down to the final couple of plays here. So it's going to be a 5-5 record for Mississippi State. Some tough losses. They played very well tonight. Tough against a better opponent, but they showed a lot of resolve just getting back in this game in the fourth quarter. And that's probably going to be the final play of the ball game. 24-7. So the answer to our question about 3.5 hours ago, could Alabama rebound and shake off that disappointing loss to LSU last week? The answer, yes. 9-1 for Alabama, 6-1 in conference play. As Coach Saban and Coach Mullen exchange a handshake at midfield. And a 24-7 win for the Tide, and Holly's on the field with Nick Saban.
Coach, you told me earlier this week that you'd see the true character of your team with how they'd respond tonight. What character did you see?
Well, we responded. I mean, I think Mississippi State has a good team. They played a lot of good teams close. You know, I mean, so we knew this was going to be a tough game, and, you know, there's a lot of things we could have done better. But I'm happy that we won because our guys competed hard, too.
Coach, coming out in the second half, you said you had to run the ball better, but you started out passing it. How did that help open up the running game?
Well, the way people play us on first down is you got so many people in the box, it makes it difficult to run it. So we got to pass the ball on first down. We made a lot of explosive plays on first down passes. So that's something we just got to continue to work on.
Trent Richardson on that last touchdown drive, Coach, was just remarkable. How do you describe what he brings to your team?
Well, he talked me into going for it on fourth down because I really wanted to punt. So that was his call, so he gets all the credit for that. And but, you know, he did a great job tonight, make some tough yards. Eddie did a good job coming in there as well. But certainly got a lot of things to improve on, but I'm really proud of the way our guys came out and competed in this game tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
So Trent Richardson can run, he can catch, he can coach even at times. He had a great second half tonight, and he and Lacy and a great Alabama defense does the job. 24-7 is our final score. Sports Center is coming up next. The Tide rebound from a loss a week ago and win on the road here in Starkville tonight. For Todd Blackledge, Hallie Rowe, and our entire crew, Brad Nessler saying so long from Mississippi State. Sports Center is next.